there, Abiding fam, and welcome back. My name is Kelsey Lee, and today we are finally sitting down with my Abiding journal from 2021, and we are going to do the final flip through today. This is going to be the last 2 months of the year that I haven't shared with you yet, so these are all new entries that you will be seeing from November and December. If you are new here and haven't seen all of my other flip throughs in this particular journal, definitely check out this playlist up here in the cards. You will be able to see every other flip through that I did on a monthly basis. And then this last video is going to be 2 months all in one. I am continuing to journal into 2022, and we actually are doing it together as a community. Basically, any form of journaling goes. If you are journaling, then we want you to be part of the Abiding fam and participating in this community with us. So you can do that by using the hashtag MyAbidingJournal2022. So you can join in the fun on Instagram. There's also a Facebook group. So check out all of the links in the description. I'll also put links for some of the supplies that you see in this video, like my covers, which come from Documented Journey, and I have a coupon code if you are interested in getting one of her absolutely stunning journal covers. I really don't think I'll ever use anything else. I just love her work so very much. So definitely check out Documented Journey if you're interested in these covers. I have both of my journals here in front of me because, as you know, if you've been following along, this was my cover and the journal I was working in, my Moleskine extra larges. These are the Cahiers extra large journals that I was using for all of 2021. And so these two inserts right here basically capture all of January through November. I was able to fit into 2 inserts. I, for a while, was doing daily journaling, literally a page for every single day. And then as the year went on, that became a little bit more difficult because of life circumstances and things that were happening. So I started just doing kind of highlight journaling and things like that. So we'll talk about that a little bit more when I do the flip through. But we're going to start out in this second insert with my November entries. And then we're going to hop over to my current journal, which I have in this beautiful cover here. And in this journal, again, Moleskine extra large, I'm continuing to use that size. I have some December entries, which we'll get to in a little bit. And also, I'm just continuing in this same insert with my 2022 journaling. I think we can get into our heads a little bit about wanting our entire year to fit nicely into one journal, or just to have every page perfectly filled up, and then starting a brand new journal or insert when we move into a new year. And I'm trying to disband that notion, and I'm trying to encourage you to get over that as well by just saying, you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to continue with where I left off and not necessarily require that I start the new year in a brand new journal. So instead, I started the new year on page like 15 or whatever it is in this new insert that I started at the beginning of December. Now let's jump back into our 2021 journal and take a peek at all of my entries for November. So in our last flip through, we left off on this final page for October 31st, and then we begin with my journaling for November 1st through 5th, which, as you can see, I did on one page. I basically just captured the week in some journaling here that I nicely spaced out, and then did a really fun little collage here to celebrate the fact that it was NaNoWriMo, otherwise known as National Novel Writing Month, which I always kind of get involved in the hype of it, but never actually fully commit to doing. This has been an ongoing problem for me, but I do love the idea of using the month of November to commit more strongly to my writing. And so that's kind of what this page is about, and I just really love the little collage that I created with some stickers and washi tape. very, very simple. These stickers that you see here, which I use quite a bit now in my journaling, are from the Botanist Sticker Anthology, and I will have this linked down in the description box because it is gorgeous. This next entry documents taking my dad out for dinner to celebrate his birthday, and we went to a brewing company that he really likes and got to play pool with him, one of his favorite activities, and enjoy a really nice dinner. So this is a pretty simple entry, just with 2 journaling cards, a little tag that says happy birthday, and then a photo of us and that sticker. And then fun fact is that my dad and my niece share the same birthday. So in the same weekend, we then had a birthday party for my niece the next day. And so I just documented this with a really cute little journaling card that actually was a cutout journaling card that I then put a patterned glitter journaling card under to get this really neat kind of sparkly letter effect. So this is actually 2 journaling cards layered on top of each other. I also did this fun design that is so simple but really great for a birthday page, which is to just take 2 strips of washi, one vertical and one horizontal, and basically make it look like a gift. That's the idea of the cross there, of the washi tape, makes it look like, you know, ribbon over a gift. And then I have a little happy birthday sticker, some other stickers and journaling, and of course a little photo of my niece. This next entry is actually one of my favorites. I love the simplicity of it and just the entire layout and aesthetic. This obviously is a day documenting pheasant hunting. My husband really enjoys that activity and goes in the fall with his friends, and also actually this time my brother went too, and it was his first time, and he takes Carrie Jeannie, our dog, and she's really become quite good at flushing the pheasants, and so it's a really fun activity that they can do together. And you will notice that I left a big blank space here because this day was really his day, not mine. I was not there, but I wanted to document this for him so that he would have this to look back on. And so I left the space for him to do the journaling since it was him who had this experience. And I think that can be a really neat thing to consider doing in your own journaling. Sometimes it tends to be, not always, but that women become the documentarians for our families. Or even if you are a man, the likelihood is that there's typically one person in a family who is the key person who likes to document and keep those memories cherished for everyone else. And so recognizing that as the case in my family, that I am obviously the one who is very into creative journaling and making sure that our memories are documented, I do like to every now and then create a page that is documenting memories that maybe I wasn't even a part of, but I know would be really special for a loved one in my life to look back on. Mostly my husband, but maybe occasionally others. So every now and then I'll have a page that is for my husband to do journaling. The trick is to actually get him to sit down and do the journaling, so I have to make this happen still, obviously, but the page is here and the memories are here, and hopefully soon the journaling will be here as well. And then the rest of this page is super simple. I did a fun little background effect just with literally a stamp and baby white just to add a little bit of color in the background, and then layered some washi tape here. This washi I've used a lot in these spreads because it was new, and we know how we all like to play with new supplies right as we get them. And these were from Stationery Pal, and it's this really fun set of Morandi washi that comes in just the most gorgeous, really muted, beautiful color. I've really been enjoying using this washi, and I will have it linked down below for you. And then beyond that, the focal point of this page is this really beautiful piece that's actually cut out from a Magnolia Journals magazine. And it's actually a page that's really meaningful to me because my mom saved it for me. She was always thinking of me in my journaling and saving little items that she would come across for me to have to use in my journaling, and this was one of them, which, you know, it just speaks to how thoughtful she was, just always thinking of others and their interests just means a lot to me. And it had this quote on it that says, "For just a moment, we take a break to feel the shift of the seasons, a break so we can slow down, catch our breaths, and find our place in the landscape that is changing all around us." So I included that, and of course a photo of them all together, and used some little brown paper pieces from an old torn up bag and a nice little feather here. And I just am very, very happy with how this turned out. Also, I do want to mention that the lettering you see here is stamped, and these are a new favorite item for me as well. Oh my goodness, I'm just going crazy with the stamping right now because these are so much fun. These are the alphabet uppercase stamps, and I got these from Stationery Pal as well. I'll have them linked for you too. For anything that I talk about that is from Stationery Pal or obujo.com, I do have discount codes in the description box as well, so you can get it a little bit cheaper. This next entry I won't talk about too much because I actually did a journal with me for this page, so I will link my journal with me playlist for this year up in the cards. You can go and watch all of my journal with me's, but this was, I think, my most recent one that I posted, and was a really fun one because I created this art piece here in the style of Van Gogh, since we went to the immersive experience on this day, and I used oil pastels for the first time from Paul Rubens' art, and it was just a really fun new medium to play with, and I definitely recommend you check out that video. This next entry, you might be able to tell again, features a magazine cutout piece that my mom gave to me, this time of a little kind of cafe scene, and it has a quote that says, "A break to remember there are places in the world where people sit still long enough to drink a cup of coffee. A break to remember slowing down isn't a common command because it's already a way of life." And I just really loved that quote and had held on to it waiting for the perfect page. And I think I found it because this actually documents kind of two different experiences that I just put into one entry. The first was just having a really nice cup of coffee at home and the sunlight coming through the window, and we had apple cider donuts, which I admit I bought solely for the purpose of being able to use this sticker. This sticker is one of my printable stickers available on my Patreon page, and I was so proud of how it turned out. The donuts look so lifelike, and I'm definitely not a lifelike illustrator, but it just happened to be that the donuts just really came out perfectly, and I was so excited to use this sticker. But of course, I wanted to use it to document a memory of actually enjoying apple cider donuts, and so I had to buy some donuts to use the sticker. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been guilty of kind of forcing yourself into an experience or getting a certain item, food, whatever it might be, just for the purpose of being able to document it later. Like you knew that it would just look good in your journal later. Because I've definitely been guilty of that. And then the other little experience that this page documents is going to the diner with my husband. There is this really cute little diner that's literally like this big, and it's an old kind of bus almost turned, I mean, I don't really know how else to describe it. It's like an old bus turned into a little teeny diner, and it's just so authentic, and it's right down the street from us, and really represents this quote very well, where it just has that full-on small town vibes of a place where everybody just is accepting the slowed down version of life. So that's that entry. I'm being a little long-winded in these explanations, so I'm going to try and speed things up a little bit for you, but these are chatty videos. I feel like that's what you're here for, right? If not, maybe at some point I'll do a quick flip through of all of my 2021 journaling so you can just see the pages kind of flash by before your eyes, but I personally like to know how the pages came together and why. So that moves us over to this entry, which is so very simple and really something I think I'm going to embrace more in 2022, which is doing a weekly summary, not having a page for every single day. I just feel like this is really manageable and still beautiful, still documenting your memories and just keeping it very simple. So I literally just used a ripped up piece of scrapbook paper, did a little bit of stamping and washi tape, and then did a bulleted list of the main highlights of that week. And then I did, because one of the highlights from this week was Ben catching his first ever walleye. It's a type of fish. It's okay if you don't understand why that's special, but to him it was special. And so I did want to tip in this little photo of him with his first ever walleye. And I had some stickers on there that say, "Make each moment count." And I just put that in as a tip in on the same paper, used the same washi as what I have up here. And then I just have a sticker there that says "Celebrate," and I wrote the little things because, you know, little things like catching your first walleye will be fun things to look back on in the future. You will notice in these most recent spreads that they were much more heavy on the photos and some decorative items to capture memories, definitely more of a scrapbooking style and a less journaling. I just was not in a mental space to be doing long form explanations. And there were some memories because I fell behind in my journaling at this point just because I was having a hard time after the loss of my mom and just really trying to stay on top of memories that I really wanted to document, but without feeling like I needed to record every detail. And so that's why many of these pages are very simple in terms of not having a ton of explanation and journaling. I just wanted the basic memory down on the paper, which for me is most simplest to do just by representing it with photos or a few ephemera pieces. So in this case, I printed out 2 photos from my Instagram stories. If you're not following me on Instagram, I'd love for you to join us over there at My Abiding Journal. I do post a lot more life-related things over there, as well as additional journaling content, and it's a good way to know when my new videos are posted and all that, so would love to have you over there. So these photos were from my Instagram stories when I made a delicious homemade chicken noodle soup, and I like to share recipes every now and then in my Instagram stories for those who are interested because I love to cook. And so I just actually took the recipe from my Instagram story and put that as a photo. I can read it and be able to replicate it in the future. And then I just did a little bit of hand lettering. And then these stickers are also from my Patreon page. Every month I do a different theme that my patrons vote on. And this particular month they chose Holiday Hygge, which is all about comfort and the simple things in life. And I just really loved the colors and illustrations that I came up with for the Holiday Hygge set. And I use them a lot in these next few pages. And I do want to take this moment really quick to plug that you can become a patron at any time. So if you're seeing any of these stickers and saying, "Ooh, I'd love to use that in my own journal," then I would personally love to invite you to become a patron. You can join for $2 or $6. And when you join, you get access to tons of exclusive content, including all of my printable stickers. There are many, 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 many collections over on Patreon already, and you get immediate access to all of them when you join. And then I also post exclusive journal with me's and other videos over there as well. So there's a whole archive of them that you get to watch right when you join. So it's a really fabulous way to support my channel and get some fun journaling content and additional journaling inspiration from me. So thank you very much to all of my patrons who have supported me throughout this last year, and I would be delighted to welcome any others into the Patreon family. So with that plug done, I will move over to this entry which documents Thanksgiving, and this was our first really major holiday without my mom. So as you can imagine, just a whole lot of difficult emotions and experiences and feelings, but overwhelmingly we still had really grateful hearts on this day. And so I just have a little photo of my niece sitting at the table with all of the food, and I did a little bit of journaling here, but the thing that best represents this day for me is this quote right here. I am happy, hurting, and healing all at the same time. And that for me is really representative of my November and December. And as you can see, I did a bunch of little doodles in the background of little pine needles and little kind of cranberries. And that was kind of a fun little touch to turn the background into almost a patterned paper. This entry is together and is one of my favorites. I just love how I laid this out. It is so aesthetically pleasing to the eye. I'm really, really proud of this one. And so simple to do. I mean, this was literally just a piece of brown craft paper torn off of a bag. I didn't, well, not torn. It's obviously nicely shapen. So I cut it to this little rectangle. And then I had a journaling card and put a photo over that. And a fun little thing that I did here, which you could do in any entry, is I just framed the entire photo with little strips of washi, and it's just a really clean, simple look, but so easy to do. So I would definitely recommend trying framing your photos with washi tape in your own journaling to give it a little bit something extra. And then I just had a little label here that I used some alpha stickers on to write Black Friday. And this down here is one of the printables from the Holiday Hygge set as well. Just some fun little sweaters and cozy socks and a hat. And obviously Black Friday is known as the shopping day. And so my best friend and I went shopping together on this day. She reached out to me in October and I just burst into tears because she offered to go with me shopping on Black Friday, which might not seem like a big deal to any of you, but this was a long-standing tradition that my mom and I had. Anytime she was not working on Black Friday, we would go shopping together. And it was just a really fun mother-daughter thing that we liked to do together. The shops are really not crazy around where I live. I don't know. People like are terrified of Black Friday. Like they're gonna get run over by a mob, and that's never been my experience. It's pretty low-key actually. Anyhow, that's beside the point. The point is that it was a beautiful tradition that I will always think fondly on with my mom, and it meant so much to me that my best friend offered to kind of continue that tradition with me, and that we could kind of start a new tradition of hopefully doing that together in future years as well. So I then did all my journaling about that over here, and again, super simple entry with just 2 strips of washi, this little girl washi that I have, and some stickers, little phrase stickers, but just really special memories documented on this page. And then another new tradition that we started was with my family. So my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law and my niece decided to create a tradition of going out on Small Business Saturday. And so we went to our kind of local area and went to all the little shops there. And I put in this little card that they had handed out in that time, and they had some stickers and stuff, which was fun. So I was able to use those in my page. Definitely always, always, always be on the lookout for ephemera and things being handed out at events that you can use for free in your journaling. So I tipped in the little card with a strip of washi tape and then wrote some of the favorite finds of things that I got on this day. And then I have this cute little photo of my niece next to this little polar bear thing that was outside of one of the shops. And I have a business card from a new favorite shop that I discovered on this trip. And then just wrote out shopping with my girls and family day. So really, really fun. And then over here, I did the journaling for this experience. And I also have some Christmas trees here and this fun little Christmas tree washi tape in the truck because we also went to get our Christmas trees on this day. And a fun fact about picking out our Christmas tree, we also have a ongoing tradition of getting our tree from the tree farm where Ben and I got married. So that's been a fun thing that we've been doing for the last few years. And then that was my last entry for November, but I had this blank kind of page at the back and I wanted to do something with it. So I, one evening, just sat down and did kind of this weird leaf illustration with some metallic watercolor, and then put a little doily there and this journaling card over it. I admit, I can't decide if I like this or not. Yeah, I'm really undecided about whether this looks really great or looks really terrible, but regardless, it's here and it's in my journal, and I basically was just using this as a nice conclusion to this series of journals, and did a little quote here about journaling from Mina Murray, and it says, "Journaling is like whispering to one's self and listening at the same time." So I know that I technically could have just ended the video here because it is plenty long enough already, but I really feel like since the year is already gone, I just need to get the entire last entries of my journaling out there in one flip through. So thank you for hanging in there. If you want to pause this and come back and enjoy the rest of this at another time and call it a second flip through, you are free to do so. But we're just going to dive right into my December journaling as well, which, as I mentioned at the beginning, I started in a new insert for my December journaling. I started with a cover page, and I decided to reference one of my all-time favorite childhood films, Anastasia. Love it so much. And of course, the Once Upon a December song from that movie has a very special place in my heart and was perfect for this entry. So I just did a little bit of lettering of things I almost remember Once Upon a December, and then did some very fun little embossing here with this like glittery white embossing powder that I got. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera, but it's really fun when it hits the light just right. And then these little stickers are all from the Holiday Hygge collection available on my Patreon. This entry I won't talk about too much because I also have a journal with me for this one. I highly recommend you go and check it out because this was a really fun collaboration that I got to be part of. Meg Journals and My Green Cow hosted a journaling challenge in December called 12 Days of Journaling, and I got to participate in that and share a video that was on the theme of 5 things I look forward to every Christmas. And I created this spread as part of that challenge to inspire others to get into their journals, and I would encourage you to go and watch it. I used a lot of fun paper in it, my number stencil, and then almost all of these little stickers that you see are from the Holiday Hygge collection too. And then this I do want to mention really quick in this video because I am just tickled pink by these little dictionary cards. I talked about these in my Obujo haul. Definitely go check out my Obujo haul for so much good journaling, stationery, supplies. You are going to want to bring your credit card to that video and then hop right over to obujo.com because there's just so many fun journaling things at really good prices, and I have a discount code as I mentioned, and they do free shipping over $30 in the US, and they also have standard price shipping at just $4.99 if you are not in the US, or if you don't hit that $30 for free shipping. If you just buy something, you know, a little bit cheaper, it's only $4.99 for shipping, which is kind of nice because sometimes those cheaper stationery shops, you know, can get pretty expensive once you get to the shipping part of checking out. This is what the little dictionary library series books look like. It's just a bunch of little papers that have dictionary definitions for words, and they're just so much fun to use in your journaling. They come as an entire set, or you can buy them individually. This entry really just documents a few of my favorite things about the Christmas season, especially in our little apartment. I wanted to document that because this may be the last Christmas that we have in our apartment because we would like to start looking for a house this year. So I wanted to have a photo of our Christmas tree set up in our little apartment, and then also the church across from our home that always has this gorgeous little tree that they light up, and it's just the most magical little old church. And then otherwise, I have some fun little washi here from Stationery Pal, and also this sticker, and then all of these ones, including these cute little socks, are from one of my printable collections that I put out last year around Christmas time, so in 2020, and this theme was called Silent Night, which actually this one is from that too. So again, lots and lots of journaling printables over on Patreon for you to go and download and print and enjoy and play with in your journaling. So your journaling doesn't always have to be about a day. It can be about a topic. It can be more thematic and just focusing on listing out some favorite things about the season you're in. And in this case, I did an entire entry dedicated to some favorite Christmas time drinks. And so I got these fun little teas that came in little sample packs from a local tea shop. And I got ones that were all themed around Christmas. So this one is partridge in a pear tree. And then I also had some flu time tea because we were starting to feel a little ill around this time. And then also got some fun holiday blends from Beanbox. Here again is an entry where I am not documenting a specific day, but instead am documenting a bunch of memories in one around a specific theme. And in this case, the theme is food with friends. So I just took a bunch of photos of different meals that we had with friends and coworkers, including, the people we ate with and some of the delicious food that we ate, and just journaled a little bit about this season and the magic of kind of gathering. And then this entry over here is documenting a very special day for my husband. If you don't like the idea of hunting, you can feel free to skip over this next entry, but hunting is a big part of his life and now my life and our life, because for us it is a really sustainable meat source. We primarily eat venison and don't really get much beef at all if we can help it, because venison is so much more sustainable. So he does hunt, and he was very, very proud of getting a 10-pointer this year. So I created this page in honor of that experience. I used some stamp ink and my little blender tool through my alphabet stencil, which is available on Amazon. Here it is. I got this from Amazon because so many of you have been interested in my little number stencil and I couldn't find it, but I did find this one, which is great because now I have the alphabet and also some numbers as well. These are a little bit bigger, so primarily best if you're working in a little bit bigger of a notebook. But I really love these, and they're a good price over on Amazon, so I'll have them linked in the description box if you're interested. But that's how I wrote out 10-pointer. And then I had this fun little glassine bag that I had kept, and I just went crazy decorating it in this really fun kind of junk journal-esque collage style, and I just am really, really happy with how it turned out. I used, again, one of those little dictionary pieces that I found that said hunt, and then have washi and stickers layered, and an old paper bag that I had, and just love how that turned out. Did some stamping of deer, hunt, and then the live in the moment. And then if you pull this out, then I have this piece of paper tucked in there that has a photo of him with the rack. And then again, you're noticing a theme here with the pages that are documenting my husband's experiences and the fact that they don't have any journaling on them. So I also need him to sit down and write his journaling on the back of this card. That is the space that I left him to journal about this experience. So that is something we need to get on, dear husband. This entry documents a really fun experience of making handmade candles for the first time. Another new tradition, I think, for us is getting together with our friends Scott and Emily to create candles or maybe other items. Maybe it'll evolve over time. But in this case, we made candles. And so we want to get together every year and do a DIY project to make as gifts for the people in our lives. So we made a ton of candles, and I cut out some photos that I printed on my Canon selfie. And then again, candle was one of those little dictionary things that I had. I had the handmade die cut and did some journaling. And then all of these little candle stickers are actually ones from various printable collections over on Patreon. This entry documents a fun date night for Ben and me. We went to see A Christmas Carol at a little local theater. A Christmas Carol is one of our all-time favorite Charles Dickens stories. We really love watching the movie every year or seeing a play or something to immerse ourselves in the story. And this year we went to see the play because a friend of ours was actually in it. So we went into the city and went to a little Vietnamese restaurant and got some bubble tea, and then went to a bookstore. So I have that on here. There's this little washi piece that says bookstore on it. And then my journaling, and I wrote the quote from Ebenezer Scrooge, which is always one of my favorites, where he says, "There's more of gravy than grave about you." If you know that line, you know that it's hilarious. This entry is documenting Christmas Eve, and so we went to a friend's house for their annual Christmas Eve party, and actually went to a few different Christmas Eve parties on this day. It was a very full day, but we had a lot of fun. So I just have some photos from that. A little mistletoe illustration that's available on my Silent Night themed printable as well. This illustration here, I am sad to say I did not do. This is not a printable. This is just an illustration that I actually printed out from the internet that I really liked, and then I just did a little bit of lettering. And then this entry is pretty simple. I mean, it's really just this awesome little envelope that I had. I have no idea where I even got this. And then a photo of me and my dad. Yeah, this page is really just reflecting on how much I cherish him and cherish my family, and how much I missed my mom on this day, but that we really still made the most of the experience. We had dinner at my dad's house, and my pop-up and Uncle Albert also came over, and it was just really fun to hear stories that my pop-up was sharing. And then on the back here, my mother-in-law and father-in-law came for dinner as well. And so I just have some photos from that day together here on this little card that I have tucked into the envelope, and obviously a bunch of journaling all around it. And then here is my final entry for 2021, and that is my 2021 Reads in Review page. I love doing this every year. I am a huge reader. Fun fact about this channel is that it actually started out as a little bit of a booktube channel. That's what I first envisioned for this channel, because I just love to read, and it obviously has evolved immensely since then. But I would love to know, comment down below, if you're watching this video, one, all the way to the end, congratulations, but two, I would love to know if you have been part of this community since my channel name was The Scribbled Bookcase. Again, I don't think I'm going to talk too much about this, just because it's one, it's pretty self-explanatory, but two, I actually have a really fun video that I'm quite proud of that shows you how to create a bookshelf that looks just like this in your own journal, documenting your favorite reads or to-be-read list or your reads and review, whatever you want it to be. And I walk you through the whole process and provide a free template that you can use on canva.com to design your own. So I would love for you to go and check that video out. But that is going to be it for 2021. I sometimes like to do more reflective pages on, what were the highlights of this year? What were the big things, or what did I learn? And I just honestly did not have the mental capacity to reflect in that way on this year. It just is still too raw and too real, and it's just really difficult for me to do that kind of past reflection. Something I want to work on more this year, I talked about in my 2022 journaling goals video, so check that one out next if you haven't seen it yet. But something I want to work on this year more is using my journaling as therapy, in a sense. It already is therapy, of course, but I want to do a little bit more of a deep dive into what's happening in my heart and mind, and just do more introspective journaling. So that's one of my goals. You can learn more about my goals over in that video, but do know that very, very soon we are going to be literally turning the page into the new year, even though I recognize the new year is already well underway. It kind of took off without me in some ways, but I just want you to know that I am here. I am journaling. I am encouraging you to journal too, and I can't wait to share with you my journey continuing into this new year and to talk to you more about the magic of journaling. So more to come. Stay tuned. I would love for you to join the Abiding fam by hitting that subscribe button so that you get to see all of those future videos. Thank you so very much. If you have made it to the end of this super long flip through, you are a champion, and I would love for you to give yourself a little bit of an applause in the comments by sharing an applause emoji to celebrate yourself and to let me know that you've made it to the end of this video. That, my friends, is a wrap on 2021. Maybe I will share a quick flip through that just shows you all the little pages really quick, but I don't know. We'll see. In the meantime, let's take a peek at all of your journaling from the last 2 months of 2021 that you shared using the hashtag MyAbidingJournal2021. Thank you to everyone who has shared your journaling with us in the last year, and I hope, I pray, I encourage you to continue sharing your journaling with us now using the hashtag MyAbidingJournal2022. You also can just use the hashtag MyAbidingJournal if you want to use the more generic one, but I'd love to know if you are journaling with us this year, and by journaling with us, I just mean, are you journaling? If so, know that there's a community here who wants to be partnering with you and keeping you inspired to stay with it. So join the Abiding fam, join Patreon if you like my content and want to support it even more and get access to all of those printables I talked about. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really helps me out and lets YouTube know that you think others would enjoy this video too. And I'll look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Until then, keep exploring your abiding creativity and document a life abiding in faith, hope, and love.